Hello dear students, I hope every one of you is fit and fine at your home. So today we will be going through another chapter in your English grammar book, that is verbs expressing the future. So earlier we have done about present tense and past tense. Now we will be learning about the future tense. So when we say about the tense, what do we mean by it? Earlier only I said you that we can divide tenses into present, past and future. So the tense of any verb, it tells about the time when an action has taken place. So the tense of a verb tells when an action takes place. Here we have three sentences. The first one is the bear walks to the honey tree. So which is the verb walks. It is in present tense. Next is the bear walked to the honey tree. So we have used the past form of walk, that is walked. So the sentence is in past tense. And the third one is the bear will walk to the honey tree. So we have used the future form of the verb walk. So the whole sentence is in future tense. So we come to know that the tense of a verb tells about when the particular action has taken place. It can be in present, past or future. So we have already learned about past and present. Here we will be learning about future tense. So when we say about future tense, what do we mean by it? A future tense is a verb tense used to talk about something that will happen or will be true in future. That is in the coming time, the time which is going to come in future, the actions that will take place in future. When we talk about those things, then that particular sentence is in future tense. Okay, the action which is not a part of present or past, but in the coming time it is going to take place. For example, let us see, he will be here soon. I will give you a call. What will you do? And it will be sunny tomorrow. So all these things, the sentences which I said right now, all these sentences tell about the things which will happen in future. So it is in future tense. See, now we will see about different types of future tenses. So we can categorize future tense in different types. What are those different types of future tenses? Let us see. So the first one is future indefinite tense. That is simple future tense. We say it as future indefinite tense also. The next one is future continuous tense or future progressive tense. The next is future perfect tense and future perfect continuous tense. Now one by one we will study about its different types. So the first one, simple future tense or future indefinite tense. Here are two sentences. Let us see. I am so sleepy and tired. Then the reply is, I will get you some coffee. So what happens? The function of a simple future tense is what? It refers to a time later than now and expresses facts or certainty. When you are certain about something that will happen in future, then we use the simple future tenses. So let us see in detail. The simple future tense is used to refer to action that will take place after act of speaking or writing. Means it is not happening in present while speaking or telling, or it has not happened in the past time, but will happen after I said. Okay, for example, I shall play. he or will play. So I'm not playing right now, I will play in the coming time in future. Next is future continuous tense. Okay, so some sentences over here are, I will be staying here until Sunday. The postman will be coming soon. In these two sentences, which are the verb? Will be staying, and the second one, will be coming. So what we see, we have used the continuous form of the verb along with the future form, that is will plus be plus verb in its ing form. So it forms future continuous tense. Now what is future continuous tense? A future continuous tense is used to describe actions ongoing in the future. Okay, the action which is still continuing in future, which will be continuing in future. Okay, the future progressive is used to refer to continuing action that will occur in the future. Means in future, when I speak, that will be happening in progress. For example, I shall be playing, he will be playing. So these two is the future continuous form of the verb. Now let us see its structure of the sentence, that is will plus be plus verb in its ing form. For example, I will be singing in the concert tomorrow, means when the concert will take place tomorrow, then I will be singing also. The action will be in progress. Okay, that's why we call it as future progressive or continuous tense. Now when do we use future continuous tense? Action in progress at a time in future. Example, I will be meeting Tom this Saturday, means when in future that particular day or time, that action will be in progress. Okay, so he will be meeting Tom on Saturday. So Saturday will be coming and that action of meeting will be in progress on Saturday. Next, interrupted action in the future. For example, she will be waiting for you. When will she waiting? When you arrive. So we usually use when in these type of sentences. And the next one is parallel actions in the future, when two actions are happening in parallel. Okay, and we use while and in these type of sentences. For example, Sam will be dancing while Paul will be singing. So both the action will be in parallel, it will happen together in parallel. Okay, and but when will it happen? In future. So we use future continuous tense. Next is future perfect tense. Let us see some sentence. By the time you read this, I will have slept. I am not going to have finished this book by 11 o'clock. So which are the verbs in these sentences? Will have slept. And the next one, I am not going to have finished. So we see that here the verb is in future perfect tense. So what are its uses and structure? Let us see in our next slide. So future perfect, what is its structure? Will plus have plus past participle form of the verb. Okay, and when do we use, what do we use it for? Something that will end at before a certain time in the future. For example, by 4 o'clock Friday we will have finished all the exams. So we mention about the particular time before that particular action will happen, and these both the things will be happening in future. Means by 4 o'clock Friday, that is maybe in future Friday will be coming, and by 4 o'clock, so we are mentioning the certain time, definite time, and before that particular time or certain time the action will be finished in future. So let us see some other example. I will have finished the article by Friday. So by Friday I will have finished the article. Both the actions will take place in future. So I will email it to you then. They will have built a new terminal in 6 months time. So in the coming 6 months time they will have built a new terminal. So when we mention the particular time or certain time in future before what any action is going to be completed in future, in that case we use future perfect tense. Next is future perfect continuous tense. Let us see a sentence. By the end of November, Jack will have been studying at the university for 4 years. Now here what we see, that we mention the time duration also and the particular time period or certain time at when the action will end. Okay, we mention the time period as well as the particular certain time when the action will come to an end. So let us see its detail. Future continuous tense is used to talk about an action which will be in progress over a period of time that will end in the future. For example, by next March we shall have been living here for 5 years. So we are mentioning the particular time, certain time. What is that certain time? By next March. And what is the time duration that we will be living here for? That is for 5 years. So both the things we are mentioning, the certain time as well as the time duration of the future. Okay, and when we mention both the things, in that case we use future perfect continuous tense. The other example is, I shall have been teaching in this college for 20 years by next July. So here what is the certain time about future what we are mentioning? That is next July. And what is the time duration that I will be teaching here in this college? That is for 20 years. So here that's why we are using future perfect continuous tense. And the sentence is, I shall have been teaching in this college for 20 years by next July. By the end of this year, he will have been acting for 30 years. So what is the certain time period that action will get over? That is by the end of this year. And what is the time duration or the working duration? That is for 30 years. That's why we have used over here future perfect continuous tense. Now let us see the structure and other examples. Will plus have plus been plus verb in its ing form. So when do we use future perfect continuous tense? The actions that will have started, will have continued for some time and will still be in progress in the future either. So the action that has started before we talk about the sentence and is still in progress and will come to an end. When will it come to an end? About that particular time period or certain time that we mention, which will be coming in the future. So in that case we use future perfect continuous tense. So let us see in detail. Before a specific moment. For example, they have been flying to London for 4 hours by this time tomorrow. So by tomorrow, that will be in coming future, and the time period which they have already covered is 4 hours. So we have used will have been because the sentence is still in progress. The action is still in progress. Next one is before another action takes place. Example, we will have been cleaning the house all day by the time she returns. So in the same way as I have said that before any particular thing comes to an end and it's still in progress. So they are still doing the work of cleaning the house, and from when have been they doing it? From whole day they are doing it, until when they will be doing it? By the time she returns. Okay, so the action which started in the past, still in progress, and will end to a certain time in future. So in that case we use future perfect continuous tense. Some examples, let us see. They will have been living in Paris for 5 years. The kid will have been sleeping since 10 p.m. The doctor will have been treating patients for 2 years. He will have been reading this book since 10 a.m. He will be working as an engineer in this factory since January. We will have been starting your business since May, and you will have been using my computer for 5 months. So these were some example of future perfect continuous tenses. Now next important form of future tense is going to form. Now what is going to form? We usually say, isn't it? Suppose you have not scored good marks in the first term and you say, I'm going to get good marks in the second term. So the thing which you are definite about and you are sure about that you are going to do it in future, in that case we use going to form. Okay, some examples, let us see. I am going to travel round the world. He isn't going to study much, so this is a negative form. And are you going to be back soon? It is an interrogative form. What is the structure? Be plus going plus to, infinitive form of the verb. Now usage of going to. You can use be going to plus verb, that is to infinitive, when you want to talk about what you have decided to do or what you intend to do in future. That example I said you right now, that suppose you have not scored very good marks in the present exam, and in the next exam you are going to get good marks by working hard, and you are sure about or you have decided to do well in the next exam. So you will say, I'm going to score good marks in my next exam. So in that case we use going to form. For example, I am going to get up at 5:30 tomorrow morning. So his intent to do that. He has decided, he has set up his mind to get up early in the morning. Okay. Other uses, prediction of real evidences. For example, he is going to fail his exam. Means suppose you see something and you make a prediction by seeing the present scenario. So in that case you use going to form. For example, it's a very cloudy day. So what will you say? It is going to rain, because you make a prediction by the present condition. So in that case also we use going to form. Some other examples, I said affirmative form, that is in positive sentence. I am going to travel by plane, that is simple statement. Interrogative, are you going to travel by plane? And negative, I am not going to travel by plane because I am going to fly in a hot air balloon. So these were different forms of going to in affirmative, interrogative and negative. So I hope these informations were helpful to you, and for the next topic we'll be coming up with further videos. Thank you for watching the video.